classroom tonight, and she is also in jail after an altercation yesterday at Greenland Pines Elementary in Jacksonville.
Now that teacher, Stephanie Leulahi, is charged with battery on a law enforcement officer and trespassing. She made her first court appearance today.
And we've learned the second grade teacher had been under investigation by the district and also the State Department of Children and Families at the time of her arrest.
Robert Bradfield is on your side. He joins us live tonight outside the school with more on Tuesday's incident that, Robert, also involved the principal.
That's correct, and we are still waiting to find out why teacher Stephanie Leulahi is under investigation, but this police report says because of the severity of the case, she was being reassigned. The report goes on to say that when she was being told of her reassignment, she became aggressive and agitated with the principal and the assistant principal. Now, because of that, the Jacksonville Sheriff's officers responded to the school's administrative offices and pepper sprayed Leulahi, and according to the police report, she also became agitated with the officers as well as yelling insults to EMTs. She was eventually placed under arrest after pushing and shoving a law enforcement officer. That also according to the report. The principal did notify the parents here at the school of what took place and said the children were never in danger. Leulahi appeared in front of a judge today, as we mentioned, and was told she's to stay away from the school's campus.
You're not to return to Greenland Pines Elementary. You're not to return to any Duval County School Board building while this case is pending.
And we will be looking over her personnel file later today as when she was an employee of this district. However, her husband did tell us off camera today that she is an outstanding teacher and she is devoted to her students and her profession. We can also tell you, though, that she's been at this school for several years. Her next court appearance is December 11th. We're live tonight. Robert Bradfield, First Coast News, on your side.